Good evening. I'm Father Russ Carmichael, and tonight we're on Street Talk. We've been doing several shows over the last couple of months on Channel 24 tape shows, and then these tape shows go up on our website, which is nlhome.org. You can catch them on there, and they go out, they go out all over the world, believe it or not. So our little locality here in New London gets projected around the world. And Bobby DeLallo's Justice programs with Gail and with them that produce that gets played a lot of places. As many as 7,000 hits they've had on the show. It's amazing. We run about 3,000 to 4,000. We are very, very pleased with your participation in following the various issues. I'm really thankful. I'm thankful for the loyal people that are here locally and who've watched us over 6 or 7 years that we've been on. We're going to go back live, I believe, next month on 25. We'll be on Thursdays from 7 to 8, so keep an eye out for the Street Talk show that's live. Today, it's September 9th, and I'm planning this show has a tape on there. We interviewed again Bonnie Rosenstadt, and we've got a continuation of her story, and we're pleased that she has allowed us to interview her and what's gone on in her situation. We're trying to put together a composite of how do I want to say it? Several cases that have gone through family courts, and we have a couple of cases focused really, I'm going to tell you, on the Norwich court and what's happened to them. And then we have a couple of cases that have been in other courts, and we found a great disparity in the way things are treated. A huge disparity that we don't particularly like, because we believe there are real civil rights violations. And by doing the show, what we're hoping for is that our own Chief Justice here in the state of Connecticut gets together and pulls the family court services together and cleans up the act of the family court where there are problems, without it having to go to federal court. We have decided in the process, which is now for us been approximately a year, that we are most likely going to take a class action suit against one of the courthouses and the people that are involved because of violations of individual rights that we find really over the top. We believe we'll be doing this within the next 6 months, okay? None of this is something that's easy and it's overnight. So for those of you who've been following this, I really, really appreciate it, and I think you'll find the further interview of Bonnie is more interesting, which we'll follow in a bit. But before I get to that, again, this is September 9th, 2010. I got up this morning and I go to my computer and I clicked on the day, and I was very, very disheartened because of the Riverside Park issue, which we covered. We've done several shows on Riverside Park, took you folks down there, filmed the areas of the park where we felt that you should see, not just a certain little area that's cleaned up. We took the total park and showed what a decrepit situation it is down there. And I had somebody write in the paper, what do you mean, Father Russ, by decrepit? Well, I mean the difference between the Arboretum and that park. If you want to see what I mean by decrepit, go up to Riverside Park, walk all the way through it. Take a really good look at the surrounding areas, the way it's kept, what has been done there, and then go and up to the Arboretum, which is within a mile, up to across from Connecticut College, okay, huge arboretum, and walk through the arboretum, the whole place. And you will see the difference between what I talk about, a place that's being kept up, and a decrepit piece of land that is a shame. It's a waste, and maybe at one time it was a beautiful place. I can understand, okay, but it isn't anymore. And the Coast Guard wants it, and they should get it. They should be given it. As somebody wrote today, okay, they are the front line between us and terrorists, and they protect the waters of New London and everything else. Somebody should give it to them. These young people that go through the United States Coast Guard Academy put their lives on the line daily, okay, for us. And it's outrageous the way some of the people in this town has talked about them. It is absolutely outrageous. And anybody who is military, a veteran, all right, should get out when this gets on the ballot and decisively vote in favor of the Coast Guard getting that land and slam dunk these clowns that have abused our people in the Coast Guard, that challenged the admiral, basically calling him a liar. I mean, the individual that did that to the admiral has a lot to think about. And I'm not going to get into it, but I'll tell you, it is a real shame. Almost as bad as when I got up this morning and I see Reverend Hyslop contends that there's a racial issue that lies behind the selling of the park. Reverend Hyslop, I have to say to you personally, I am totally shocked that such a man would pull a racist card like this. I am absolutely devastated. I can't believe it. I can't believe I saw your picture in the paper and you were saying that racism lies behind this. You were feeding off of Kathy Mitchell's crap that's been in the paper, and I felt that you are far more of a man than that. I just couldn't believe it. I come from a multi-racist family, a racial family. Okay, we might be multi-racist too. You know, I guess maybe I am, because I really get rich people. I have a real problem with. I have a real problem with people who want to hurt disabled people and poor people and stuff like that. So in some ways, I'm probably a racist myself, but not against skin color or religion or anything else like that. I might have a class problem, okay? Even though I have families that come from a lot of old money, and I have also family that are seriously poor and multiracial in their family situation. So I want you to take a look at the paper in this issue. I also know that my co-host that is usually on with me, Tambria Moore, multiracial family. She lives right up there by Riverside Park. You ought to look at her note that she put in the paper. And I am absolutely outraged that to pull that kind of tactic is shameful. You ought to be ashamed. All of you that have pulled that kind of thing ought to be ashamed of yourself. This is not about race. This is about a need for the Coast Guard Academy for that land. And you know what? If we don't vote it and so they get it, they ought to take it by eminent domain. The Coast Guard ought to take it, and the hell with New London. Okay. That's the big, well, the other issue is we're going to do a show on